some technical difficulties. We hope everybody's safe at home. One West News Desk. One West News Desk. So the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We are under the management and how we've been teaching this truth since 1969. So-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are in fact the true biblical Jews of the Bible, and that I will oppress it, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Well, we gotta recognize and understand. Well, I'm one of your hosts, Captain Supply, along with
Officer Matham.
And we'll be getting to your algorithm every Monday, 6 until letting you know what's going on in the earth, local, national, international. It's a lot more national. I mean, I can't. I can't. Hey, Matham, hold on. Oh, you mute yourself or something. But Matham, I can't scroll up without seeing Minneapolis. I can't scroll up without seeing Minneapolis, seeing Nate Good or the other young man. So it's a lot of national news going on. Of course, they got the winter storm. And of course, everything going on with Greenland, Iran, tensions in Iran, and everything like that. It's a lot happening in the earth that we're going to cover today. We're going to cover tonight. Any opening remarks, Matham?
No opening remarks, sir. Just it's a dog eat dog world out here, and we about to get into some heavy news tonight.
100%. Now let's the article I'm going to pull up now, and I'm going to share it on screen so you can see it as well. This one right here, Matham, went under the radar because of we're going to hit that major national news a little bit on the tail end. You know, everybody's going to hear the EPK talk about it, go into Minneapolis, what's happening, because of why? Because of the race or the nationality of who's been getting unalived up there or whatever. But this here is got swept under the radar with Iran. Let me pull this up 1 second. Bear with me if you could. Bear with me 1 second while I pull this up. On ABC News, I got a Y'all bear with me 1 second while I get this one. This one here, again, went under the radar because of the how messy America is. Messy is like a goddamn Atlanta housewife. Goddamn, it's messy. It's ghetto. Donald Trump, his whole cabinet is ghetto. Ghetto as hell. That's why there's always a bunch of goddamn turmoil. And Matham, you can time in any time, all right?
Con, sir.
Pull this up real quick, y'all.
You know, this stuff with Minneapolis is getting real heavy. You know what I mean? People that civil unrest is real, is digging real deep into the skin of those people there. You know what I mean? And like we said before, if we not around, these people, they begin to unalive themselves. You understand? And this is the reason why the Most High told us not to make marriages with them, not to integrate with them, not to be, you understand, arm in arm and joining hand with them. You understand? Before think about it too, sir. It's lucky if I got a couple of minutes, sir. But think about this. Before they went into the Africas, these people were destroying themselves. They were warring with themselves. Italy, Greece, the Europes, what do they call it? Ireland, all of these places, all of these European places were warring with each other. You understand? They can't get along. They had to have somebody that they could all, go against so that they wouldn't unalive each other. You understand? And if we notice on a microcosm scale that when they are amongst their own, they begin to get so frustrated that they start to unalive their own. It's not hard to tell an immigrant from a European. You understand? It's not that hard. And that's the frustration that comes with them. You understand? When they can't unalive, when they're around each other, they have to unalive somebody. You understand?
History has always been criminality. It's always been criminality, and like that when we went, has always been criminality. It's always been unaliving. It's always been oppressing other people. War. They invented this the term black on black crime, but we don't want to talk about white on white. We don't want to talk about white on white crime. We talk about history and centuries of this bastard worn and unaliving across the face of the earth everywhere. They're like a cancer. They're like a cancer on the earth, spreading their criminality, spreading their lack of morals. You know what I'm saying? Just carnal beasts. They've always had a history of carnality. Just to add. You hear anything else on that?
Well, you're exactly right, sir. They have a history of it. They have a history of just unaliving, anybody that they see. And we were fortunate back in history, way back in history, when all they had to war with was themselves. If we would have got probably another 500 years, they probably would have wiped themselves right off the map. You understand? But unfortunately, here we are. You know what I mean? So we are watching it once again. It's beginning to happen again. If they can't find a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native, they begin to unalive themselves. You understand? That aggression.
They working on it now. They have no, with all the technology, with all the resources, with all the money, with all the power, they find a way to oppress. They find a way to you got all these online. Now you want to what's the point? Well, I mean, what's the whole point? Now you want to rights of people. Want to come up against Greenland? Want to come up against Denmark? Want to come up against France and the UK? Now we spoke about it last show with them. It's ridiculous.
So like sir, if I may, sir, that cancer is beginning to spread. You understand? It looked as though, you understand, that they were going to, wipe us right off the map. But because we're not around, especially in places like Minneapolis, the places where they're going, you understand? That's why they're wiping. They just going to wipe themselves right off of the map. And then not only that, when you begin to war with yourself, especially when you're an oppressor, oppressors will war with each other. Look, this is nothing. We're watching a small piece of the Civil War being reenacted all over again. That's it. Just a small piece of the Civil War being reenacted all over again. They're going to unalive each other and they're going to wipe each other right out. This is the way it's been planned. You understand? We're in the middle of World War III and America is imploding. America is destroying herself from the inside out. America is the cancer of the earth. And we're watching this cancer engulf itself.
100%. The oppressor can't help his true nature. You know what I'm saying? They speak of this this utopia is all coming together in unison. They call it. I remember coming out of school. We're gonna have this melting pot of all nations. We're gonna come together and live and prosper together. His nature, his true nature is criminality. His true nature is abuse and oppression and unaliving and being scandalous and being a snake and lying and stealing and taking advantage of. Please, my friend. Go ahead. No, he's still on me. Go ahead.
And that's exactly right, sir. It's part of it. It's in their DNA to do just what they're doing. Listen, the Most High said, what does the Bible say? That they were blessed with the sword, right? And that's what we're watching right now. This is all that they have. And now, just like you said, they're allies. The people that were walking with them, now they're turning on the people that were walking with them. You understand that NATO thing? NATO is over. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization, it is over. Think about this. They're trying to start, what's that organization that they're trying to start again now? And it's called the
Yeah, Trump trying to start some type of alliance.
Yeah, it's just like NATO, but what's happening now is they want full control where they make all the calls and nobody else makes any calls. It's actually, in order to get in it, you have to put up $1 billion. So that goes to show you right there. It's about them. It's about the United States getting money from these people. They're dropping the NATO just like they dropped the League of Nations and turned it into the United Nations. That's getting ready to drop too. Everybody's gonna move up out of that. That NATO alliance thing, it's over. This is the new thing right here. Think about it. Right after World War I, they started the League of Nations. America didn't have the power to control the nations like they wanted. That's why they backed out of the League of Nations after starting it. Then they started the United Nations. They started the United Nations and gave themselves and 4 other countries veto power. The two of the countries that they gave veto power were allies of them. So no matter what happened, they would always get the power of the veto. But now, because they're what did it say? Eating their own flesh, destroying their own people, the people that walked with them, they're trying to create this thing right here so they can have total control. Not only total control, but now they're charging $1 billion to be in it. It's the league. It's called the League of Peace or something like that, or the something about peace.
I'll pull it up real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, but this is what they're doing, and this is the last thing right here. Remember, League of Nations, United Nations, and now this peace that they're creating right now, charging $1 billion. This is it right here, because this thing, if anybody gets in, the United States will have total control of you and your resources. You giving them money to be a slave. That's what's happening right now. It's a playbook that the United States has used 2 times before. And every time a world war breaks out, the United States comes out on top. And this is what we're watching. Salakia, sir.
It's the board.
What is it called?
The board. The board.
The Board of Peace. That's it right there. The Board of Peace. And it costs $1 billion to get in. With $1 billion, you are actually giving your soul away. You're paying to be a slave. And like I said again, it's the same playbook that the United States has used 2 times before, after World War I and after World War II. But this time, they're taking total control. It's being the global king. That's what the United States is trying to be right now. And the thing about it, for the life of me, I can't understand why these nations are not waking up. But France and the Europe and the Europe 7 are trying to take a different direction. They're trying to go in a different direction because they understand that the United States is not going to stand with them with this war in Russia. And they just talked about that about 2 days ago, how they're going in a different direction and they're going to build up their military and resources, even though they don't have any. The United States left them out on the line. Everything that they're talking about right now with the European Union, everything that they're talking about right now is basically blow, because they don't have the means or the resources to build a military, anything. They're getting crushed by Russia right now. One nation crushing 6 nations. I yield, sir.
No, you're absolutely right. America wants total control of the earth. And look, listen, the international courts and NATO responded accordingly. How Trump wanted them to, there wouldn't be none of it. There wouldn't be no board of peace. There wouldn't be no new alliances or what have you, or no turmoil like that. It'd be what it is. Because listen, America and the Israeli got damn near full immunity in the United Nations. Understand? You can't override their vote. You can't override with them to vote on or what have you. They say damn near go. But the whole earth is like, hold up. We ain't with this, and everybody, like all these alliances and ships is going down the drain, is going down the drain. It's brewing up international tensions, furthering World War III. That's all it is. We've been teaching this since the 60s. They said it would never happen with them. They said, no, we're going to have peace and tranquility, and all the nations are going to be on one accord. No more wars. After World War II, they was like, that's it. That's the last one. We're going to draw this treaty, that treaty, this treaty, and that's what it's going to be. That's what they said. But we got to recognize and understand all of that's going down. All them treaties, alliances, is getting flushed down the toilet. And all these nations is getting brought into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Everybody is going to be brought into this war. They're going to be brought into this war. It's going to be boots on the ground. It's unavoidable. Let's move over here to Iran. Hold on, Madame. Hold on. Yeah, something happened. You just dropped out.
I just dropped out by mistake.
No, so what I was saying, everybody getting brought into the fight. Unavoidable. All those alliances and NATO, that's going under the water now. You know, that's going to be an afterthought in a year or two, probably. Especially the tensions with Greenland and Denmark. They had special forces on the ground. Special forces. Go ahead.
Yeah. And it's crazy though, because like I said, the European Union, they basically in a catch-22. America made them give up resources and everything that they was doing with Russia, all of the resources that they were getting cheaply from Russia, from the gas, the minerals, and different things like that, that they needed to function independently from the United States. The United States talked them into giving all of that up, and then they blasted the that pipeline that Russia had going into Germany, which they were getting cheaper oil. Now they paying 3 times the price of the oil and a worse oil from the United States. And they were getting a better oil and a better gas from Russia. So the United States actually put them in a catch-22, because if they leave, they don't have the connection with Russia. If they stay, they still get abused by the United States. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's how the mafia to me, huh? They're a bunch of goddamn international thugs. But the drug is oil. But the drug is they fight with tariffs and taxes. I don't follow no rules, but you're absolutely right on that. Don't they got a right to sell it and trade? But you want to blow up the top. I don't know that. Go ahead, Mathan.
Salakia, sir. They all of those nations are sovereign nations. Being a sovereign nation means that internationally, even by international law, you can purchase resources from any other nation that you want. For America to put sanctions on nations because they're purchasing oil or gas or minerals from Russia, it goes against international law. There's something that's happening at this point. The thing that's happening is America is treading over the international law. Not only are they treading over the international law, they're stepping finely. They're trying to see what the other nations are going to allow them to do and what they are not going to allow them to do. And so far, they have not stopped America at any turn. And what America is stepping towards global control. That's exactly what they're doing. Global control. After they shut that pipeline down from Russia to Germany, that gave them control over the oil. So now all of those European nations over there in Europe, UK, Ireland, and all of those countries, they have to get their oil from the United States, now paying 3 times as much for a lesser oil. I yield, sir.
Tom, what's up? No, you absolutely right. But they're just international thugs, you know what I'm saying? Mafia on a different level. You know what I'm saying? When the mafia said, you're gonna pay for this protection. You're gonna pay for this protection, you're gonna protect your business. It's just a money grab. No reason to do it, just international thugs. That's all it is. Listen, what's done. Look like it's coming to the end, if you ask me. It look like it's coming to the end, if you ask me. I'm gonna share this article. This one here. So you gotta take yourself on mute. You trying to say something?
No, sorry, no, I was just agreeing with you.
I'm gonna share this story here. This is our first story. You see that?
Yeah, I can see it, sir.
Do you see it enough to read it?
I can't read. I can't read.
See it? Okay, that's fine.
I can't read it.
Aircraft carrier arrives in the Middle East. Tensions Iran remain high. Listen, they making stops around the earth like it ain't no beef. like it ain't no beef, Madonna. Like imagine on a smaller scale, you just pop up in another territory that you got beef with, just because you ain't welcome. They're a bunch of thugs. Man. They don't recognize. They don't understand. They're not reading or wrong. Go ahead.
You're exactly right, sir. What the United States is doing right now is they're operating off of old reputation. The strength of the United States is not what it used to be like back in 1989, 1990. You understand? It's the strength of the United States military is not that deep. Think about this too, right? Iran just told them maybe about 5 or 6 days ago that if they attack, they're going to feel the brunt of the Iranian military.
Right.
That Oreshnik that the Russians dropped on Ukraine gave notice. Then that I can't remember that one that the Iranians dropped on Israel that made them stop the 12-day war. After they dropped that, Netanyahu told them, we got to hold up. We got to stop this war. We don't have, anything that can stop what they just flew in. So now the Iranians said, if America attacks, they're going to feel real power. And that was it. The United States called off that attack that they were about to do on Iran. After Iran told them that, they cut it because they understand that they have nothing to stop supersonic missiles. Nothing. Russia showed theirs, Iran showed theirs. China just laying back in the cut right now. Hey, listen, you remember that movie 3 the Hard Way? Iran, Russia, and China. That's what America's looking at. And it's going to be, listen, the thing is that America's scared that Israel is going to use that nuke that they got. They're going to get to desperation mode, and Israel doesn't care about any of the other countries. That's it. They don't care about the United States. Of course, you know that Israel has attacked the United States in years past on 5 different occasions. On 5 different occasions, Israel has attacked the United States military.
Right.
That's some stuff that they kept up under the rug. But if you look back at the history, I believe that last time
that's public information.
Yeah, it's public information, but they keep it under wraps. Nobody talks about that. We keep talking about how much of an ally Israel is. We hear all the propaganda coming from the media sources and different senators and congressmen. You understand what I'm saying? When I don't know if anybody knew, but on that Epstein Island, there were Mossad agents on that island every time anybody of any importance arrived at that Epstein Island. That's the reason why you have a lot of people with shut mouths. That's why you hear a lot of people that are not speaking out against what Trump's doing. They got a lot of info on them, and this is the hand that's allowing Israel to walk and do what they want to do. because you have a lot of people that are caught up in that can't say no. You understand what I'm saying, sir? I yield.
Right. 100%. I'm just saying, you're absolutely right. Now listen, this article is on point because this, what Outcast said, why pull your weapon out if you ain't ready to shoot? Bombs over Baghdad, right? That's all back. Well, that ain't back in the day. That's back in my day. I was lying, but look, um, listen, they showing face, Madonna. It says the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln and 3 accompanying warships have arrived in the Middle East, bringing a renewed potential that President Donald Trump could opt to order airstrikes on Iran over its crackdown on protesters. The carrier, along with 3 destroyers, is currently deployed to the Middle East to promote regional security and stability, U.S. Central Command said Monday on social media. The strike group was in the Indian Ocean, Central Command said, and not in the Arabian Sea, which borders Iran. It will bring thousands of additional service members to the region, which has not had a U.S. aircraft carrier since. The USS General R. Ford was ordered in October to sail to the Caribbean as part of a pressure campaign on the Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. We'll get a little bit more on this Trump. Told reporters last week that the ships were sent to the region just in case we have a massive fleet heading in that direction, and maybe we will have to use it instead. That's bold. But you know that's bold. That's propaganda. It's looking like it's about to go down. I'm just saying. It's looking like why would you send warships and aircraft carriers? You're talking about billions of dollars of armament across the seas, just in case. That's the word in use, but though it's the just in case. Listen, you looking to shoot something down. I'm just saying. Go ahead, Tom.
Salakia, sir. Did you hear how much it costs per day to operate one of those warships over in the Middle East?
It gotta be it's up to that. It gotta be
I think they said about 10. I want to say 10 to 20 million dollars a day.
I'm not surprised.
So just imagine if you over there for a month.
Right.
Now imagine if you're over there for 6 months.
Right.
Then not only that, you have to come back and refuel and go back. So it costs even more than that. So where's the United States getting the money from? Because if you know it or not, and if a lot of people know it or not, this economy is crashing.
100%.
Think about this, sir. Salakia, if I may. When my mother bought a house, you paid maybe 30 to 40% more than the house was valued, right?
Right.
Buying a house today, right now today, is 2.5 to almost 3 times more than the house is worth. My grandfather bought a house with 11 children. He was the only one that worked. My grandmother was a stay-at-home mom. He paid for all of that. Where's the United States getting this money? Because our economy is steadily crashing and everything is steadily going up. Nothing is going down. So where are they getting the money from? They have to play pirate. They have to play bully on the block. They have to take people's lunches to survive. How long does everybody allow the bully on the block to take their lunch before everybody begins to attack? I yield, sir.
I'm sweating. And listen, the world in the earth is an absolute shambles. Imagine a snow globe, right? You shake the snow globe up, all the snow. That snow is like chaos, falling down on all these nations. UK, European Union, all those European nations. Nobody knows. Everybody's questioning what direction the Earth is going to. And unless you've been following the truth or in the truth, you're confused. You think this Donald Trump character is just big bad? As long as we get the big bad guy out of the office, we think in our mind the world is safe. But we don't recognize and understand that what's going on in the earth right now is for our liberation. Donald Trump is perfect for America. He's the face of it. He's what America has been this entire time. The thief, the unaliver, the PDF, the homosexual, the unaliver, the oppressor, the racist. He is the face of you. All of you goddamn devils. All of you goddamn oppressors. He is you. And you are him. All you so-called good white people out there protesting. You are Trump. You are the LGBT, just like Trump. You are the upstanding Christian conservative, just like Trump. You are the PDF in the Epstein file, just like Trump. You are the unaliver. You are the oppressor, just like Trump. You think you're a good white person. You think you're one of the good ones, but you're just like Biden, just like Kamala, just like Reagan and Clinton, and the list goes on. You're right along with America, because you know what? I remember in Minneapolis, there was plenty of us. Black folk been down by the hands of law enforcement. Hispanics been getting rounded up and unalived by the hands of law enforcement. Countless stories of Native American Indians being rounded up and abused and unalived by who with them? Law enforcement. Now, because you're political, you're right now you're in the fights. You're not anti-law enforcement. You're not anti-ICE. You're anti-white people getting killed. You're anti-Trump. You're anti-Republican. But when it comes back to just killing blacks and Hispanics and oppressing blacks and Hispanics, and you get your money up and your tax credits and your tax cuts, and all is back to normal when it's just black people getting killed and Native Indians getting killed and rounded up, because ICE been in existence. You ain't saying nothing the last 4 years of Biden. You think ICE just wasn't working? Yeah, they thought ICE was just on standby until Trump got it off. Oh, Trump back, and we get to go back to work.
You said ICE. ICE has been in existence for a long time. It's just that they didn't have anything to do. You understand? Border control was, and remember, they never. What's going on? What's going on? What Trump was doing with border control is something that they never really did. You understand what I'm saying? And once the economy starts crumbling,
No, I wouldn't say that stuff is just more of a magnifying glass.
Right.
Obama himself was enforcing border patrol, was enforcing immigration immigration tactics against Mexico. Obama, he said it out of his mouth. It's just a magnifying glass on it now because of what's popular. It's popular to be against Republicans and Donald Trump. But when Obama said we got to get out there, we got to get these immigrants, we didn't even hear about it. It wasn't even a thought with them. I would say more or less, it could be looked at as okay, they wasn't doing nothing. No, they just more under a microscope of the crimes and the brutality that they're doing. But ICE and law enforcement have always been unalive. It's nothing. But the magnifying glass has been put on it because of political theatrics. Political theatrics, and they want to go after, they want to label other white folks as fighting against ICE because of their political view. They want to deem them as less. So it's like a lot of great. It's a lot of layers of it. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
I wanted to touch on something that you said earlier. It's like a lot of them say what they anti-ICE, right? Whenever anybody says that they're anti-ICE, especially if they're in a government, even if they're a government official, it's not that they are anti-ICE. They're running for office again. So they have to say what's popular. Whether you Democrat or Republican, none of them are anti-ICE. They have to say what they have to say to keep that position that they have. You understand? In the empire. That's the only thing. None of those officials, no government official. Think about it, right? Who's speaking out against ICE? The people that's speaking out against ICE is the people who need voters for that next election.
They're more going against. It's like they're anti-Republican and they're anti, which means they have to be anti-ICE. Go ahead.
You're exactly right, sir, because when any administration goes wrong or go awry or go astray, the other half of that administration has to go against them. So they have to say we're anti-ICE or we're this, or ICE has to be controlled. They have to be pulled out and all that because they know what the people want to hear.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they're with the empire.
Right, exactly.
They're being paid by the empire. They're being allowed to be lobbied by people who lobby the empire. You understand what I'm saying? So when we hearing all of that, we have to understand that it's a lot of propaganda. And this is the reason why the Most High tells us not to put anybody over us who is not our people. Not only that, not if the Most High didn't choose them, they should not be over us. That goes for elected officials too. Voting is out of the issue. We need to just step back and watch this empire destroy themselves. I yield, sir.
Right. So there's a lot of political theatrics going on. It's a lot of these goddamn Democrats. They're running off of what's popular. They're running off of what's popular. Anything. So their entire campaign is going to be anti-Trump, anti-ICE, all these other things. But guess what? When they get in office, they're gonna be taking that APAC money. They're taking that APAC money, and they're still going with the status quo. Business as usual. It's gonna be business as usual, but they gotta talk that good game. Like all these politicians come out, talk a good game, we're gonna do this for black people, Hispanics, Native Indians, X, Y, Z. Then they get it off and they disappear. They show them face. You know what I mean? Governor Westmore, right? Governor Westmore, Donald Trump was talking about Baltimore and Maryland. And then now he want to get on the TV. Donald Trump, that's what Donald Trump did. Donald Trump that. I invite you to come to Baltimore, do a crime walk. Anybody seen him since? Anybody seen or heard from him since? All the crime and wickedness going on in the city. But as soon as Trump say something, you got to sit up. I'm the big bad. I fight for the blacks and I fight for Baltimore and vote for me 2020. So like, I don't mean to go over. I do want to get another article, but you are it's a bunch of garbage. It's a bunch of trash. We're gonna get some more. Let's get a couple more articles, and we're gonna get Alice out in here. We're gonna get trying to get to the history class. Get to that too, all right. The wild everybody check in. We got a bunch of views on Twitter again. Shout out to everybody on Twitter. Make sure you hit that like. Give me a fire emoji. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like and share. You understand? Let's get some more. Hey, McDonough, you had any other pressing stories that you want to bring up?
I had one story about did you see the brother that got
Let's get something on Minnesota.
Oh, in Minnesota? You said
you had something on?
No, not about Minnesota.
Oh, about anything. I'll pull it up now. Sure. So I'm gonna pull this one up, though.
Do you see me back? Do you see this other thing backstage, sir? Do you see me on another phone?
I don't see anybody else backstage.
Okay.
Somebody else checking in?
No. I was trying to bring my other phone in so I could read the articles off my other phone.
Sure.
But we can go ahead. It don't matter.
I was still going.
You see Alazar?
Huh.
Okay.
I'm gonna send it to him. My bad on once. I gotta pull this off. It's here on CBS. Reported this. Let me know if you can see this. Hold on. Share this one. Share it all over.
I can see it, sir.
But Vino, some border patrol agents to leave Minneapolis soon. Sources tell CBS News. U.S. Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino, am I pronouncing his last name right? Bovino and some of his agents are expected to soon leave the Minneapolis area. Two sources familiar with the move told CBS News Monday. President Trump and Governor Walz both said Monday they're working together to scale down to serve the federal immigration enforcement in Minnesota. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey added that he has also spoken with Mr. Trump Monday. They don't even say President Trump anymore, but Mr. Trump Monday, and that the president that's unheard of.
Right.
And the present situation is not earlier Monday, New York, some of the border patrol agents Alex McKee, is that I might pronounce it Pretty or
Freddie. Pretty.
You want to speak?
Salakia, sir. I think you're talking about the Preeti.
Yeah.
Pretty. That's how it's pronounced.
So you want to make a statement?
Yeah. Did you see? I guess it may be in the article, but everything that the Fed said happened in that situation, including what's the speaker, the spokesperson for the president, the woman Pam Bondi. They came out and said what happened. They came out and said what happened in the situation, but it was so many people filming out there that everything that they said those ICE agents did, according to protocol, was debunked immediately. I mean, the lie. It was lie after lie after lie. It's bad. It's bad. I yield, sir.
Listen, they coming up against themselves. This is your white on white crime here. We ain't even in the mix now, right? Or all. Get some more though. Get some more articles. Pretty and ICU nurse who worked at the Minneapolis VA hospital was unalived by a border patrol agent Saturday morning. He was the second person killed by federal forces in Minneapolis in January, following the shooting of Renee Good. Let's know about Alex Pretty shooting and fallout. President Trump said on social media Monday he is sending border Caesar Tom Homan to Minnesota. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey said he is planning to meet with them to discuss next steps. It's a whole lot of stuff here. I'm not gonna go into the whole thing, but it's a whole uproar. It's a whole goddamn uproar.
Yeah. So, if I may,
please.
What's bad about it? What's sad about that situation is the way that they did that oppressor, and of course, gotta say it was sad what they did to the oppressor. But what's even sadder is what they did to him shows you the length that they will go through it when they do what they do to us. If they lied 10 different times about that situation, just imagine what they do to us. You understand? And that's the sad side right there, is to really understand that a lot of us are still blinded by America and believe that we can truly get justice in America. Listen, if an oppressor can't get justice in America, what makes us believe that we can possibly get justice in America? I yield, sir.
Something to think about, right? Something to think about, something to consider. But Donald Trump, ICE, his cabinet, his followers, this is an American norm. Don't think it's any different than, remember back in a couple years ago, everybody was talking about back in the blue. You got people back in ICE. I think that's any different. If you was back then talking about back to blue and supporting our law enforcement agencies, now you're switched up. now you're a good wife. Now you one of the good wives. You're out there protesting and got your sign, they good and pretty, what have you. Not knowing and not recognizing and understanding that this has been your culture all along. Now you're just taking a good look in the mirror of who you are. Again, remember this. Don't ever get it twisted or misconstrued, whatever you want to call it. You are Donald Trump. You understand? Donald Trump is the face of America. He's the perfect face of America. Perfect. Why is that? Now you might ask, why is this black man? What? But no, they probably at home kicking their feet and pointing their finger at us. Why is they saying Donald Trump is perfect? Donald Trump is perfect for America and the perfect face of America because it's not a lie. The truth, he's not hiding behind a political party, his racism, labeling it as something as democracy. He outwardly does not like Hispanics. He outwardly does not like certain people. That comes against him because he's a thug. He's a criminal. Perfect face for America. He's a homosexual, or they call it bi. They call it my bad LGBT alphabet community. He's bi. He has sex with men. He has put a penis in his mouth. I mean, just look at the Epstein files. You can stop me anytime if I'm speaking out of character. We just read the file. We just read the file a couple weeks ago, though. He's bi. That's the face of America. Alphabet community. He's racist. That's the face of America. He's an unaliver. That's the face and the foundation of America. He's a criminal. The foundation and the face of you got there. Criminals, thugs, sexual deviants, pedophiles. He embodies the true nature of America. He embodies the true nature of you devils. You're no different. White folk, you, the same one with the picket sign. You're no different. The same white person that's screaming Black Lives Matter. You're no different from the guys that were screaming All Lives Matter back in the blue. See right through you. See right through. Without any closing remarks, any other stories?
Sir.
All right, so I'll close it up with them if you don't mind. And again, shout out to everybody that hit that like button. Shout out to everybody that hit that share button. You understand? We see you for joining us. This is the One West News Desk. ISUPK started One West on 25th of New York. We're undercommanded in how we've been teaching this truth since 1959. The so-called Black Hispanics need any artifact and true biblical truth of the Bible. That our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. I'm your host, Captain Party, along with
Officer Bathum.
This is the one West News will be back live on Monday. All your local, national, and international news. Remember, the white man is the devil in the Bible speaks. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom. Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.